So what do you think of when I say pirate? You're probably picturing Jack Sparrow, right? Some badass swashbuckler rogue who's got a chick in every port, the ultimate rugged, straight as an arrow man. Or maybe the NFL Buccaneers. Yeah, what if that's all complete and utter BS? What if the pirate ship wasn't just a floating fortress? What if it was just a place where stuff happened, if you get what I mean? I've talked about this numerous times while live streaming, and I actually wanted to be able to articulate a video for this. Let's ask the question, what was really going on with these guys on the ship? Was it all really straight as an arrow, or was it maybe close to a circle? Let's dive in. Now, a lot of this has to do with my own insane theory, but there are some actual historic facts within this video. So, before we get started on my wild theories, and trust me, they're great, we gotta lay down the actual facts. First, the no woman allowed rule. This is my first point, and it's a big one. It's not a theory. This was a rule on a lot of ships for pirate code, like from this famous bastard, Bartholomew Roberts, aka Black Bart, made it forbade from women being on the ship. They said it was to prevent fights, but come on, think. You put 150 dudes on a tiny ass floating piece of wood for months, sometimes years. You don't have to be a genius to figure out what could happen. The male-on-male action isn't just a possibility, it's a statistical fucking probability. It's not complicated. It's just numbers. They had pirate marriages. I am not shitting you. This is my biggest piece of evidence I have here. It was called a Maudie Lodge. This was a formal signed paper, legal union between two pirates, or however you say that, because it's a very complicated word for me. They agreed to share everything. Their plunder, their property, their ammo. They fought side by side. And if one of them died, the other one inherited all of their shit. Now, I know some boring ass historian will tell you that it's just an economic arrangement. That sounds like my standard, well, not mine, but a standard marriage, doesn't it? So I'm calling bullshit on that. You're sharing a home, you're sharing a bed, you're sharing all your money, you're sharing each other's soul air. What the hell do you call that? That's a marriage. It was a way to have a real partnership in a world that would kill you on land. And that is just the facts, unless you were in Sparta, where, I don't know if you guys know anything about Sparta, not much to do about pirates, but the men in the military would literally go bang bros on each other's behinds to make the military closer. Now, I don't know if I've ever watched the movie 300, so I don't know if that is like shows you in that. But that is actually a pretty well-known thing for the Spartan army. If you look at any other standard marriage in modern day, what do you have? You're sharing everything with that person, and if you die, they take everything with you. If you get something, they get that same thing, and you're sharing it with them on a consistent basis. It's just your standard marriage. But they renamed it to be all piratey and possibly a little fabulous, or whatever you want to call it, you know? Pirates were rebels. This is the whole point. Pirates hated the rules, they spat on kings, they spat on the church, and they sure as hell spat on the law. On land, sodomy was a crime punishable by death. These guys were already criminals. They were already marked for death. They had zero fucks to give about society's rules. It's only logical that this quote-unquote freedom applied to literally everything, which is probably part of the reason why they had a flag with skull and bones on it, to, you know, show that they were already marked for death and that they didn't give a shit. Now, we're gonna get more into my wild theories, aka the shit that just makes sense. So that's the groundwork we have so far. We're gonna get into the real stuff, the theories in history that the books just won't teach you, because they're cowards, and my theories are just always right 90%, 99.9% of the time. We're gonna do the classic pirate mermaid theory. You've probably heard of it. It's one of Barney's theories from How I Met Your Mother. If you've never seen that show, it's an amazing show, and you probably got it wrong. So let's fix it. Barney's theory was specifically that sailors were at sea so long, staring at the ocean, that eventually a manatee, you heard that right, a manatee, one of those things, would start to look like a very attractive hot mermaid. And they were just that desperate. Now let's apply that to my pirate mermaid theory. You're stuck on a ship with 100 dudes. You're seeing 100 mermaids. Your first mate, Dave, with the one eye, mermaid. The guy swabbing the deck, it's just circumstance, mermaid. Eventually, even pirates turn into mermaids for each other. And this is another one of my theories here. It just makes too much sense. Because when you're left at sea for a long time, and there's no one else there, but you and a whole bunch of other guys, eventually your needs are gonna come out. Am I right, or am I right? I know I'm right. Now let's go with theory number 2, the escape route theory. What if it wasn't just circumstance? What if it was all intentional? Think about it. Really, just think about it. If you were a guy in London or Paris in the 1700s and you preferred other men, your life probably sucked. You were in the shadows, so you hear whispers about a life on the sea. No laws, no kings, no priest. Your ship is your world. What if a bunch of gay men got together and were just like, fuck it. If we can't be together on land, no one can stop us at sea. Makes sense. The pirate ship wasn't a paradise. It was just the world's only escape route. It wasn't about being out and proud. It was about not being dead, even though as a pirate, you eventually died from doing criminal shit anyway. A place where you could just exist without the possibility of death hanging over your head immediately, until a proper English vessel passed you. This is my third theory here. Blackbeard's extra routine. Let's talk about Blackbeard, shall we? The man would light his own fucking beard on fire. During a battle, he'd wave hemp wicks, soaked in sulfur, into his beard and light him up to look like a demon. I'm not gonna say it, but I'm gonna say it. I don't see a regular, no-nonsense straight man doing this whatsoever. This is some next-level theatrical shit. It's a performance. That's not a tough guy. That's a showman. It's a little too extra, if you ask me. Ever even see that in Pirates of the Caribbean? I don't, even though that's not based off fact whatsoever. I still don't see it. I also wanted to put this out there. Pirates really like to sword fight. And I don't think they're just sword fighting with swords, but also their meat swords. Just take that into account. And my next one is, what if all of the men on the ship were straight, but just wanted a little loophole, a little hoopla, some would say. So this is probably my wildest one, but it just makes too much sense. It's all about the loophole, okay? We know there were multiple all-man ships. We know that there were all God-fearing on some level, and there was a rule against sodomy. We're hardcore. So how do you get around it? I call this the original glory hole. Think about the cargo hold. It's dark. It's just a wall of barrels. Rum barrels, water barrels, fruit barrels, whatever barrel you want it to be. Fuck, it could even be a horse semen barrel for all we know. Of course, this is just speculation, but not really. What if a few of those barrels had a custom hole in it, even cut in half just perfectly? It's the perfect loophole. Literally, you can have the male-on-male action without technically being with another man. You're just with the barrel. It's anonymous. It's not gay. You know, it's kind of like saying no homo before you have your buddy suck it, okay? It's not gay if it's just a barrel. People get creative as hell when they're desperate. And this is just a smart theory by me. It just makes too much sense. It simply does. It's the truth. There's a reason why to this day, we still make fun of the United States, not just the United States, I guess, any, and I mean any Navy out there in general. Yeah, in the Navy there are some girls out there willing to share themselves, willing to have a wonderful time with all these Navy men. But let's be honest, there's probably more glory holes in the bathrooms of those ships than there are women. They can't satisfy everyone. Let's go all the way back up to the beginning. What was really going on? We're never gonna know 100%. A lot of the records are gone, but the evidence we do have, plus the theories that just make logical fucking sense, they paint one hell of a picture. We all know they lived in an all-male world. We know they had pirate marriages. We all know that they called pirate treasure booty. I mean, come on, guys, really. And we know they lived to rebel. When you add the mermaid theory, the escape route idea, and the extreme extraness of dudes like Blackbeard, in the creativity of the rum barrel, you get pictures that's a hell of a lot more human and a hell of a lot more interesting. Because humans are flawed at the end of the day. It's a lot more interesting than the bullshit woman in every port story that they always tell us. Because let's be honest, what woman is gonna want to be with a man who's been at sea for months to years, with scurvy going on their teeth, and hasn't had a shower in that amount of time, nor washed their clothes, so they probably stink horrendously. Not just that, but I want you to think, were they even able to wipe their ass? Probably not. The pirate ship was its own world, and in that world, free from the judgment of any outsiders, men were free to do whatever they wanted to do, including, and not limited to, sucking each other off through a barrel. But what do you think? Am I full of shit? Is the rum barrel theory genius or just wrong? We both know it's not wrong. Let me know your theories in the comments. And if you like this, hit the like button, press subscribe, and if you want any more videos like this for some more history that they're too scared to tell you, feel free to let me know in the comments down below. Take care.